Welcome into the Cam and Strick podcast, episode number 86. Is that right? Because I don't even know.
86?
Jamie normally tells me. Yeah, I think it's 86.
I think it's no. We had Peter Klima, and then we had it might be 87, and there's certainly not a player with the number 87.
No, it's 86. It's Kucherov.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, yes,
Can you name another?
86.
Remember how John Cooper was with us, and he tells this amazing story about Cooch, and you thought he said Coop, and you're like, why would he sit next to Coop the whole game or whatever?
You
and
mean Patty?
Yeah, you're talking about Patty.
He's talking about Patty.
How he sat next to Cooch, and Cooch opened up during the course of the year and, kind of showed some of his true colors and got outside his comfort zone a little bit, and you thought he said Coop, but it's Cooch.
I was picturing it too. I'm like, Patty would sit next to John Cooper. Like, that's fucking weird. And I'm sure the guys are like, what the fuck are those two doing? That's bizarro. But he wasn't talking about John Cooper, of course. I fucked up again. That's like 8 in a row for me.
That's okay.
Not good.
We expect nothing less. Hey, they posted the other day. You didn't even see it. If you want to dress like Cam Jansen for Halloween, you can just wear like your yellow hat you have on right now. You're like the man with the yellow hat. Like you wear it everywhere you go, dude.
Well, it matches a lot of things I have in my attire, like black shirts and gray and red and black, gray. That's all I wear is black and gray. I'm so fucking doom and gloom. It's unbelievable. Hey, Brownie chirped you. Jeff Brown chirped you last night. That's what we're going to talk about.
Sure.
Jeff Brown chirped you, Andy Strickland, in front of all the boys and the alumni because he said he listened to the Osgood one, and you never brought up that his son's fucking living with Chris Osgood up there in Michigan. And he was actually kind of pissed at you about that. That's unacceptable. He yelled at me, and I go, how the fuck am I supposed to know that, Brownie? I go, that's Andy. That's Andy's job. So then he gets pissed at you. You didn't even know that?
Yes. Listen, so here's how that went down. And I keep in touch with Brownie all the time. Like, we text back and forth. I'm constantly – oh, yeah, Jeff Brown, number 21. Went to the final of Vancouver back in 1994, too.
Yep.
Sick on the power play. Great shot.
Walk that line, Brownie.
Logan, his first son, 11th overall pick back in 2016. And is going to be a hell of a player. If Ottawa would just give this guy a chance and keep him in the lineup, this guy's going to be able to play. Okay?
Well, they did give him a chance, so they're giving him chances, aren't they? He's a big – Logan is a
I
big
feel like some
kid.
other guy – I feel like some other guys in that organization, some of the younger guys maybe have a little bit of a longer leash. So we don't know the whole story. But, as soon as this guy gets some confidence and has the team – giving him confidence and say, hey, listen, man, you make a mistake, you don't have a great game, you're not going down, you're going to be here, you're an NHL player. I think we'll start to see him start to feel a little, look more comfortable. But let me just get back to the story. So, dude, I've talked to Brownie, I can't tell you how many times since Caden's been gone. He's never once told me that he's living with Ozzy. Like, how the hell am I supposed to know that? So I've been talking to Ozzy, like leading up to the interview. And he was even asking me about, like, who coaches what birth year here in St. Louis, because he's trying to schedule some games with his kids' team, with the team here in St. Louis. Like, we're talking about youth hockey and all these kids that have come out of St. Louis. He never once tells me that Caden's living with them.
What the fuck's going on here?
So then the tweet goes out that we're going to have Ozzy on. And by that time, we had already done the interview. So Brownie calls me. He's like, hey, I hope you talked about Caden living with Ozzy. I'm like, no, dude, you never told me. Like, are you just telling me this now? Like, do you think I have a GPS tracker on Caden Brown? Like, I communicate with Caden, with Logan, with Jeff, and now with Ozzy. Not one person mentions it. Not to mention that Ozzy sounds like he's got 25 kids living with him anyway.
Oh, fuck. He's like fucking, he's doing everything. But apparently, like, the wife cooks so much and just does so much stuff there for all the kids and shit like that. It's like their own like training camp, She like teaches them how to cook, and I mean, it's like, holy fuck, send your kids to Ozzy's house and they're going to turn out to be not only a hockey player, but like take care of themselves in the wilderness. And just in case they have to live by themselves, they could actually cook food without like having craft macaroni and cheese,
Yeah.
Like, remember when we were young, like I remember in training camp, I didn't know how to fucking cook, dude. Like, I just didn't know. And most kids don't at that age. Like, I'm eating dog shit. Like, whatever's easiest. I would eat food out of the little convenience store in the fucking hotel, when you're that young. So you just don't know, man. Now kids are a little bit more savvy to what needs to go in their body. But, man, when you're just getting that per diem, you certainly didn't want to spend it on a great, big, expensive, nice meal. You wanted to keep the fucking money and go get cheap shit.
Yeah, no, I know, but it's important to know your nutrition, man.
Different. I mean, it's different now, Andy. It's different now.
It is. It's way different. But kids need to know what they're putting in their body is so important. But it's so Jeff Brown, by the way, to get mad about that. Because he would get mad. He would get mad. Like other guys would not. He would actually get so sensitive and get so upset about it.
We have the most sensitive alumni in the fucking league. That's for sure.
You didn't mention my son's living with Ozzy. Like, okay, I didn't know that was the focal point of the interview,
myself.
number one. And I'm so sorry. Babies, dude. I get text messages from other alumni, like asking me to tweet about their kid, but then mention them that they played in the NHL too. It's just like, dude, it's too much. Here's the one.
Jamie Rivers.
Here's the one. No, it's not him. Here's the one rule I have, because Cam, you know, man, listen, I love pumping up the young kids. All the kids from St. Louis, I've been doing it. Mm-hmm. No one does it more than I do here in St. Louis.
That is true.
And I've been doing it forever. Okay.
So I'll get you on that.
I actually take pride in that, man. I love pumping up the young kids because I've seen a lot of these kids.
Yeah.
Oh, I've seen these kids since they were 8, 9, 10 years old coming up the ranks, seeing how good they are, seeing how dedicated they are, and how it's no accident that they get to the level that they get to, you know, once, you know, they're on a big stage. But when you ask me to tweet, and I'm not even referring to Brownie because I'll take care of Brownie, whatever. But when guys ask me to tweet something about their kid, but it's about them, and they just, and if it's going to make me look bad, if it's going to make me look stupid, because the reality is what you're asking me to say, there's no chance.
Give me an example. No. Wait. Give me an example. Don't fuck around on this. Because I get weird shit too, but go.
Yeah, like, man, it puts me in a bad spot. I hope he's not listening.
Well,
right now,
you brought it
up.
Hey,
tweet, say good luck to my kid in the NHL draft today when he's probably not getting drafted, right? There's no chance he's getting drafted. And mention that his dad was drafted in X round, and his dad played so many games in the league.
Who said that? Who said that bullshit to you?
Listen, I can't do that. I can't do that.
I hear you. But I hear you. But
listen, I know, but I love the guy, and his kid's a good player, whatever. But you know, at the same time, Cam, you got to keep your integrity somewhere, man. I mean, you can't be throwing guys' names out as if they're getting drafted when in reality
you tweet enough anyway.
Drafted.
You're tweeting, and you know what? Sometimes you're tweeting about all you can't do that shit, man. Just like I don't, and I'll tell this, and guys are listening too. Like I'll do podcasts. Like I think I have to do another one tonight, and that's fine. And I'll do that stuff, man, because I feel like, you know, if I ignore people and then somebody ignores us, it's like, fuck, that's what you get for ignoring them. It's like karma in the fucking podcast world. But don't expect me, honestly, though, if I bring the heat for a fucking hour for you guys, then you want me to retweet that, do this, call somebody for you. I mean, that is so, we don't even ask guys to get numbers for this and that. And he's got his fucking sources. Sometimes it's fucking harder to get than you think. I'm certainly not going to go out of I just gave you an hour, you know, like don't expect me to retweet it, then quote tweet that, then call this guy for you. I'm just not doing it, man. I can't, or I'll drive myself fucking crazy.
Yeah. No, I listen.
So, anyway, I don't mean to bitch about it.
I'm sensitive about that too. Like, I'm careful with the ask that we throw out there to certain people, right? I mean, I just don't do it, man. Honestly, coming on the podcast and spending an hour and 20 minutes with us is enough. What else do I need to ask you to do?
I know. I know.
But to all the people, don't ask me to tweet something that is going to make me look amateur, okay? If it's a good little scoop, like say Brownie said, hey, Caden just made the U18.
Fuck yeah. Pump his tires up, dude.
Yeah, I'm
in.
His
tires up. But not a hypothetical to get attention from other scouts or somebody to maybe move the needle, because not that it would, but maybe it would, but that's what you're trying to do. And I think just let it fucking play out, man. Like if he's going to get fucking drafted, he's going to get drafted, dude.
And it's not the end of the world if he doesn't get drafted. But, you know, I don't like to be in that position, because then guys get pissed off if you don't do it and whatever. It's just like, man, don't ask.
Just don't do it.
I would never ask somebody to do that.
I don't ask people to tweet anything, Andy, ever, even if it's for fucking charity. I'm like, I'll do it. I don't even bug people for that shit. Like I get the charity stuff, like you got to do it. But on the other hand, it's like, that's like personal business now. Like your Twitter's your fucking business. It's not for fun. It's a business. And
so long story short, anyway. Hey, Brownie, tell me he's living with Ozzy before we do the interview. And how the fuck am I supposed to know where your kid's living? You think I know where he's living? Jesus.
Funny,
we do
man.
know he's in Livonia. And Livonia is a great spot. Oh, dude, I just talked to Torrey Krug last week, too. Like, this guy's from Livonia. Ryan Kessler's from Livonia. Dude, Mike Madonna's from Livonia. We're huge in Livonia. I had no idea how big we are.
A lot of players. And I saw that Chasers. So it's so weird. And, like, everybody's from Livonia. But then everybody from, like, Red Deer, Saskatchewan, or where's it, Meadow Lake, where Chaser and them, and all, they're all related, and they all have the same fucking birthday. Isn't that weird? Have you seen a movie back in the day? Remember the old Superman? Who's a Superman guy that fell off a horse and got paralyzed and died? Christopher Reeve. He's in this movie. Yeah. It's a Stephen King movie where all of a sudden all the women in this town get pregnant at the same time, and then all the kids come out with white hair and, like, glowing eyes. You remember that movie? Well, I think that's what's happening in Meadow Lake, Saskatchewan. They all come out with fucking blonde mullets, and they're all shit kickers. The weirdest fucking thing. If you guys seen that movie before, you're going to laugh. If you haven't seen it, I'm a fucking idiot.
No, I know. I saw an interview the other day with Chaser. Even when Chaser was like 23 years old, he's still name-dropping Barry Melrose. Like, even back then. I thought
even when he was sitting the game out.
I thought he didn't do that until Melrose became, like, famous for taking the Kings to the final in '93 and became a TV star.
No. Chaser will fucking name drop. They're all. It's so weird in that one little area. They're all the same person, and they all kind of look alike, and they're all related, and they're all have the same birthday. It's a fucking movie.
The same
scary
birthday.
Movie. Yeah, Wendell
birthday.
Clark and shit. You look on fucking Twitter yesterday. It's like, happy birthday, Chaser. Happy birthday, Wendell. Happy birthday, another tough guy. Happy birthday. Like, what? And you look where they're all from. They're all from the same area. It's so weird.
Everybody's writing
town in the world.
Everybody's writing a book right now too. Have you noticed that?
Damn, we should do one. I'm gonna wait like 10 more years. I need a couple more crazy things to happen, then hopefully they don't. But then I guess maybe we'll write a book, man. Like, I bet you if Kate was here right now, listening to me say I'll write a book one day, she'd be like, "Oh my fucking please no, please heaven." But if it's gonna bring in a bunch of coin, maybe I will. But I'm not there yet.
Did you watch that football game last night and see that DK Metcalf?
That motherfucker
run down that dude.
Listen, y'all. That dude might be the best athlete in the fucking world. LeBron probably, but okay, we'll keep him in the mix. DK Metcalf, 6'3", 240, cut, shredded like a fucking statue in fucking Rome. And that fucking D-back intercepts the ball. That little cornerback, that's probably the fastest guy in the world because that's what cornerbacks are. They're like your best athlete when they could jump 5 feet in the air and do this and do that. And DK was 20 yards behind that little motherfucker, and he fucking caught him. It was unbelievable, the sequence there. I wonder what his 40 was in that sequence, eh?
Oh, my God. Well, they'll probably have it. Like, the sports science people will have it for us.
Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry did the other day, too.
Oh, yeah. The dude he ran down, though, his name's Buddha, who's just like an animal out there. He's involved in every play for Arizona. Like, he's sick. But he, I think I was reading a story about him. Like, he slipped in the draft a little bit because he runs a 4.5. So if he runs a 4.5 with adrenaline, he's probably running a 4.4 there. That other dude was probably running, honestly, he had to be running a 4.1 cam to catch his ass.
I know, and he's 6'3". He's so just like that.
He looks like Terrell Owens, man. He's cut like Terrell Owens.
It's crazy. Those guys are so athletic. It's like they could play any fucking sport. And by the way, you guys are probably asking why aren't we together right now? It's we got a Blues alumni golf tournament today. It's
great. 40 it's like 100% chance of rain.
40 fucking degrees, windy, and it's gonna rain all day. Yay! Gotta do though, Andy.
Cam, but I was thinking, so you played football?
Yeah.
You know, I played football too, by the way. I got to tell you about
that.
No,
you goddamn didn't. Stop saying that you're a fucking cornerback. Like, no. No wonder you're going to bring it up because I said the best athletes were the cornerbacks, and you're like, oh, I played cornerback. No, you didn't. No, you fucking didn't.
I was a safety my freshman year, but when I was a kid.
I saw your hockey picture, damn it. I saw your hockey picture. You're barely standing up.
The highlights are coming next. The highlights are coming.
Oh, fucking show me, please.
The football,
show me.
The football, like I love playing football. What position were you though? Were you a running back?
I was running back. I was fullback, and I was outside linebacker, and then sometimes safety.
Okay, well, you can't play every position. You just named every position.
No, well, they put me over there. I was like missing practice, and they put me in safety one time. They put me here. And
when did you play? Like what? How old were you?
Freshman, freshman year.
Just freshman 1 year.
Yep. Yeah, and then I was playing AAA hockey. Too. Oh, they're fucking bad, dude. I didn't like the sport, right, Andy? I think I've talked about this before. Hockey is so freelance, man. I can go create whatever I need to create on the ice. I can go find the puck. I can hold on the puck if I want to. I can hit a guy. I can try to fight. I'm in control. In football, it's like, okay, I go in the huddle, and I didn't fucking read the playbook because that's all you're doing is reading like this is it, this that. Then I'm like, holy fuck! Compared to hockey, you have two different fucking things. In football, there's a million, and so you're like, what am I doing? And then we go up to the huddle. I'm like, what do I do? They're like, just go right there. And it's already like showed where I'm going anyway. So you know where the ball's going. I don't know. Fuck that. It wasn't fun. Football's not that fun of a sport. You stop, you go get hit, then you stop, and you wait, and you go get hit, and then you stop. And now inside linebacker, a couple times I'd fucking just be like, screw this. I'm going to go right into the hole. Even if the fucking ball's going out wide, I'm going to go kill the fullback anyway. I didn't give a fuck. I just wanted to hit somebody. But then you're out of position. I don't know. Hockey's so much fun, so much more fun as a sport. I can't really say enough about it, man. It's so much more fun. You're in control of the game. So you might not even have a fucking series where you're even doing anything in football for half the game. You're just sitting there. I don't know.
Yeah, well, that's how Leo feels.
Oh, fucking Leo. Leo, start playing football. Start playing football, Leo, you fuck.
Hey, but did hockey ever become that for you? Like, it's not compared to football in terms of the plays and, you know, obviously the design for every play where you have to be and whatever. But the game started changing a little bit, Cam, as you know. And I would talk to play. I mean, even TJ Oshie when he was like younger here, and like he was like, man, I'm not a robot. Like, they want you to be here, you got to be there, you got to be there. Like, I just want to play, you know. So did things start changing for you a little bit? Like, even like when Davis Payne was the coach, it seemed like the game got a little complicated.
No, man, not compared to doing what I did in Jersey for the first 3 years. So when I came from juniors, which I did whatever the hell I wanted, you know, and then you go play the American League for a year with Robbie Ftork, but still you're fucking, you know, the system's there, but it's not implemented like you need it to be because there's so many young kids and Russians and But once Lou called me up and you're like, oh, fuck, this is where you go. But even though it was so structured and you're only playing 5 minutes sometimes, like, I still had the freedom to get – because I knew the puck's going in the corner. So I'm like, I'm going to go get this guy, and there's no way he's going to be able to shake me off because I'm going 100 miles an hour. And, like, there's your freedom. And then the puck goes to the other corner. Like, I'm going to go kill this fucking guy too. And no one's telling me, no, you can't do that. I mean, so, like, if you're fast enough, you get in there, everybody reacts to you. So my line mates, Rasmussen and Weimer, right, go get it, Cam. We'll feed off of that. And so if I'm not that guy initiating, then, yeah, the structure would be like, okay, let's go. But I was always the guy first into the zone. So it was fun. But I get what you're saying.
Yeah. Well, it just seems like sometimes the game gets a little bit too complicated.
It does. It does.
They're like robots, man. Like, you're not at your best when you're thinking the whole time, where do I need to be? And it's supposed to be here, be there. You just got to read and react sometimes, you know?
Yeah. Or you just do it so well to where it just comes natural to you. And then you expand off of that. This is where I'm supposed to go. Okay, the puck trickled that way. So now I'm going to expand and go wide. Now we create a play. So you're still moving, man. You're still out there moving. Like football, again, you're just like, wait, nothing. Wait. Oh, maybe I'll hit that almost. Wait. You know, I don't know.
Just throwing the ball.
It's like baseball's not fun either.
No. Oh, God. Although the ending to some of these games have been, like, insane. People getting into it and whatever. It's the World
but that's because
it should be entertaining, man. It always should be.
Yeah, I know. That's why I know. And that whole sequence was fucking crazy. But usually that's going to be this guy throwing it right out. Like, okay, done. I don't know. Baseball's I'd rather go play a softball game, than go play a football game somewhere, like a flag football. I don't know.
Chaser takes his softball so serious. Like, when he pitches, dude, his wind-up. Dude, he was so serious. I couldn't believe it when he pitched to me that one game. Hey, but Halloween's around the corner. What do people expect when they come to your house? Like, do you hand out candy? Are you nice to the kids? Do you dress up?
I'll explain. This is what I do. I buy nice, expensive candy. And I'll sit out there, I have a fire pit going in my and everybody kind of comes to my house, and our whole street is so fucking packed with kids. And then by halfway through, I'm running out of the good candy. So here's the secret, everyone. I'll be like, hi, kids. Hi, welcome. Hi, come in. Let me see. And they already have their fucking bags full all the way. Your bags are full all the way. You don't need all that candy. So what I do is I give them a Tootsie Roll, which is cheap as shit, and I hate it. And I act like I put it in there, but what I really do is I grab their candy on the way out and say, thank you. Then I restockpile my shit. That's what I do. And then sometimes I go sign a fucking stick.
You steal from the kids.
They don't need all that fucking candy. I'm doing the mom and dad a favor. Let me do my shit. I handed out candy out the fucking wazoo. It cost me like $300. Now I'm taking some of it back. It's like the IRS. You made all that. I got to get a little piece. I need a piece of that action. 62%.
Halloween's turned into like a 2-week holiday. Like these kids, man, they go into you used to go in your costume once on Halloween. Now they wear it 4 or 5 times for all these different little Halloween parties, man. It's too much candy, too much sugar.
Oh my God.
Too much.
It's a lot. And,
I don't like that shit.
And not to mention the kids got to be careful on what they're eating. And, if there's any like goofy looking pills that look like the Flintstones or something, those aren't vitamins. Give those to your parents. Let me know who your parents are, and I'll collect those, and I'll give them to the authority because I think they're ecstasy pills, so we don't want anything going on with those. So just give them to me, and I'll deal with them, okay?
All right, listen, I know our open, like, we're separated, not as good.
Yeah.
Because we're not in the same spot. Who knows how this sounds? Probably sounds like shit. JD's doing our show today. He's probably like, what the hell are these guys doing for the open?
Oh,
the interview was smooth,
I know.
And now we get to the open, and all of a sudden it sounds bad. But this isn't
I think you sound okay.
Okay. Well, it's not normally the way it is, but obviously with the alumni golf tournament today, and the 100% chance of rain and 40-degree weather, which I know you're going to have fun out there.
Oh,
we could have done it in person. But JD, dude, you think about even with Doc Emmerich retiring, a lot of people celebrating him as a broadcaster. Like, who's the most celebrated color commentator that we've had here in the U.S., honestly, ahead of John
He's
Davidson?
One of them. I mean, Bill Clement, JD, Micheletti, who we love, by the way, Joe.
Eddie O, for sure.
Eddie, yeah. God, we're missing a couple
before
guys.
all those guys, man, it was JD doing every Olympics, every major event, every All-Star game.
Hangers.
Every big-time game. Even hockey with the Globe Puck. Remember that on Fox? Dude, he was doing the games then. He's everywhere. And he was it's amazing to see him transition now into, you almost forget that he did television. I'm sure there's a lot of people that forget that he did television. We don't, because he did it for so long. But, I didn't know what to expect when he came to St. Louis. How would he transition into, running a hockey department? And listen, he talks about Larry Plow and some of the other intelligent people he had around him. You even ask him about that in the podcast. How important is it to surround yourself with smart people?
Oh, well, listen.
I think he's learned that. He's learned that for sure, how important.
Why do you think I surrounded myself with you and Jamie? Now look at us. If I would have surrounded myself with a fucking guy that's just like me, we wouldn't be anywhere. You gotta surround. And that's why I asked that. Remember Lou said that too? I go, Lou, how do you fucking juggle everything? Of course, I didn't say fucking. But he's like, I surround myself with the right people, and I have this guy do something that I need over here, and I trust him, and that's what you do. And so it's like, I'm going to implement my fucking bulldogs. They're going to give me every piece of information I need. The shit that I'm not good at, he's on it. The other shit I'm not good at, she's on it. Whatever the case is, and I'll do my thing. I'll present myself, and and it's all works like a symphony or orchestra, just like a team, just like anything. So I don't know.
Well, that's what Lou said. Lou said that it's like an orchestra. Remember, he used the
What do you think
orchestra.
I got it from? Yeah, exactly.
But you got to be able to delegate. You got to be able to dictate how
and
things
fire
go.
people.
And you got to be able to be in charge, man. You got to be able to run meetings and keep people motivated to go out there and do a good job. And so obviously JD's this is his third organization. And it's not like he's still on his first one. I mean, 2 other organizations have hired him since he left St. Louis.
I'd like to ask him though, Andy. I'd be like, okay, you're getting a little bit older. You've done it all. You made a shit ton of money. 5 more years and you're going to kick your feet up and drink mango? Like what? You get 5?
Here's what it is. He said this from the day he took the job and the day he left the broadcast booth. And this is even before he ever officially accepted the job here in St. Louis where they had the press conference. But he tells a story. He and his wife, I think they were having dinner with Dave Checketts, who bought the team, brought him on board as the president. And, the only thing missing on his resume, man, he wants his name on the Stanley Cup.
Oh, okay.
That's what he's doing it for.
Okay.
He wants his name on the Stanley Cup. He wants to win a cup. And he's going to do this as long as he's allowed to do it. And hopefully he's got a chance to win.
Did he get a ring in 94?
Probably as a broadcaster, I'm sure he did.
I was going to say. Okay.
But he didn't.
But he wants to be.
Yeah. He wants his name on the cup.
Okay. That's fucking fine. Damn right.
You know,
I didn't ask him that though, because it's still, again, and we talk about this with everybody, Andy, when you make that much money and you have a family, and I know his family's all over places. I know the girls live here and whatever the case is, but it's like, is your wife like, okay, but can we just fucking chill and do nothing? And do whatever we want. And sometimes I'll go up and do a thing here, and maybe I'll do a charity event there, but whatever, just to keep like engaged with hockey, the hockey world. But fuck, but get that little, I don't know. It's just like,
but see, like when you're in charge, man, like you can step away. You can take a vacation or whatever. That's why it's important you have smart people working around you. You don't have to be scouting this tournament, that tournament, heading over to Europe. Like I look at Joel Quenneville, who's been doing this forever. Like, and he worked, obviously, Colorado, St. Louis, back to Colorado. He's worked with, other teams, Chicago, obviously. But before he took this job in Florida, people close to him were like, hey, listen, man, his wife has a lot to do with where they take this next job, because she's kind of followed him around cold weather cities, Colorado, St. Louis, Chicago. She wants to be somewhere warm. And sure enough, he took a job in Florida. So don't think his wife didn't have any influence there in terms of where he ultimately took the next, his next
warm
job.
weather. I can just picture Kate's like, hey, we got a ton of them. She'd be like, can we just like hang out? Like, honestly, and then we get sick of each other. Well, fuck, I'll go in the other room of the mansion for fucking 4 days. Won't even look at you if that's the case. Or I'll go.
No, I don't know. Hey, they're getting plenty of downtime now, Cam.
Yeah, no shit. Eh? I know. But
although they're saying January 1st is when this thing's still going to start. So I hope they're right. I hope we get this thing started as quickly as possible as we turn into the new year. Because listen, like everything that's going on right now, the weather, like the leaves are changing. It's so beautiful outside. It's colder out. We can't go throughout this entire season without having some NHL hockey. So hopefully.
I know, man. It'll be a long, long, boring fucking winter, man. Especially like in February, where it's like the dog days and it's like just 10 degrees out and it's nasty. And it's like, I can't watch hockey tonight. No football. What the fuck? Basketball? No thanks. No offense. We have a lot of Canadian listeners out there.
I'd watch a little hoops. I'd watch a little hoops.
All right,
JD's on this. JD's on this episode. People will like it, man. He's got a great story, and don't forget how good this guy was, and how big of a giant he was in hockey when he was broadcasting, and eventually led to him, beginning a career in hockey operations, and he's still doing it. So John Davidson on this edition of the Cam and Strick podcast, as always, brought to you by CarShield and CarShield.com, Cam. Check it out, customize your plan, and do it now. You want a short-term plan, you can have that. You want something long-term, dude, set it up long-term. Do it however you want. But protect yourself, because you never know when shit's going to go down. Your starter goes out like it happened to Cam. Something else could happen, and you're looking at a bill worth thousands and thousands of dollars, but not if you have a plan with CarShield. Mention the promo code CAM. You'll save 10%. CarShield.com. Sign up. Get your new customized plan today. How about Bud Light Seltzer, Cam? Dude, we got pictures over the weekend, too. People hanging out in their office. People just chilling. One guy who's like a firefighter in Erie, Pennsylvania, sent me a message.
I saw that.
I got to send it. Did you see that, too?
I think I saw that, man.
Yeah, and he's like just chilling out in the fire department. I mean,
yeah, dude, I love it.
We got to give a shout out to the firefighters right now, to the Lake Erie Fire Department, just chilling, supporting the Cam and Strick podcast.
All the firemen and women out there, especially in, like, I think Colorado, there's a blaze going on. Of course, we know it's California. They've been kicking ass out there.
Forest fires, man.
And people have been losing their lives out there too. And it's just, we're here for you guys, all you first responders, we're here for you, and you guys know that. We're here for you, all you first responders. Love you all.
All right, Bud Light Seltzer, 4 flavors: black cherry, strawberry, lemon lime, and mango, baby.
Mango. Let me tell you about mango. It's good. And Kate and I had a couple mixed drinks this weekend with some mango, and it worked. Don't ask me what the formula was, because I forgot. But Kate's really good at that shit. She put a little of this, a little of that, and a little bit of mango, and oh my Lord, very good shit. Try it out.
Mango.
Get
your mango today. BudLight.com, have it delivered to your house. Less than 100 calories, less than a gram of sugar. You're not going to feel bloated. You can get that variety pack as well. Get a little grapefruit, cranberry, pineapple action to go along with your Mango Baby, Bud Light Seltzer, BudLight.com, unquestionably good. And of course, Bellman.com. Cam Jansen, you still looking at your car? And stop sending the pictures with like the nuts hanging from the whatever's going on where you're at. We don't need to see that. We don't need to see that,
dude.
Okay?
I don't send it. I'm making fun of it. I question why people do that, but they're there. The nut sacks are there, just not in the fucking poor part of Ladue, where you're fucking.
And
living.
they're not. And you're not getting those on Bellman cars either.
No, well, Dan probably wouldn't care one way or the other. He's for the people. So if they want a nut sack hanging down from their fucking Dodge, doesn't matter.
They'll get you one. They'll get you one,
a big one.
We love Dan, man. These guys have been unbelievable. But the customer service, before we get into what's going on out there in Troy with the Cadillac, Buick, GMC, the Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, all these cars are for 4 seasons, by the way. And then none of the cars you say, well, I have to wait till the summer to get this one. All these cars you can enjoy all year round. But it's the customer service, Cam, that separates
it's a big difference,
guys
man.
From everybody.
Yep. Your girl could get in there, walk in there, and feel comfortable. And that, to me, is the biggest thing. Like, my wife could go in there and feel like she's not fucking hounded by 45 swinging dicks. I said it, and I'll say it again. You know exactly what I'm talking about. Your wife goes to a fucking car dealership. She walks in there. They all start coming out pulsating. Fuck all you weirdos. Not Bellman. No, sir. No, they treat you with respect. With respect. They let you just go do your thing. And then if you have questions, they're there for you. They're not hounding you, smelling your hair and shit. Fucking weirdos.
No, they're unbelievable. You'll get the best customer service, and again, at the best prices. They're pre-owned vehicles. They're new vehicles. They got lots of selection. So check that out in Troy, Missouri with our boy Dan Bellman with Bellman Automotive, BEHLMANN.com. Hockeytraining.com, Cam. This is the time of year where you truly want to show if you put the work in during the offseason or not. Did you do it or did you not? What were you doing?
Why are you worried about me? I can go out there and fucking suck ass and it doesn't matter. I still got my fucking stall. You need to worry about you and fucking getting the puck out of the fucking zone and back checking and fucking going in a forecheck and maybe bumping around a little bit, Andy, and holding on to that puck, Andy, and holding on to that puck, Andy. That's what I want to see from you. I want to see you skate with that puck with fucking confidence. Shimmy shake the first guy. Shimmy shake the second guy. Set up shop. Make a fucking dish, either to the left wing or to the right wing guy, cruising down the fucking wing. I haven't seen that yet. Hockeytraining.com. Check them out. Put them on your laptop. Put it on your iPad, put it on your whatever the fuck, your phone, and go in your little safe zone with your kid or whatever and just do the drills. Get a little net for them. Board up the windows like we used to do back in the basement. We did this in the fucking 90s. We didn't have hockeytraining.com telling us exactly what to do. We're just like figuring shit out, breaking fucking windows. My dad would come down like, dun, 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 dun. I'm like, oh, God, I broke a window again. That's what we had to do. You guys should go in your basement, in your garage, wherever. Find your little spot and look, check this hockey training out. You don't have to go to a goddamn gym and have your son creep out all the girls and not get shit done, because that's exactly what I would have done.
Dude, Dan has been busy too, man. He's got a bunch of new videos out. Dan and Kevin just showing off their skills.
Jesus, are they good?
At the end of the day, this guy Dan and Kevin, they're showing off, Cam.
It's ridiculous, dude. I'm like,
they're showing off.
I swear to God, Andy, at the beginning, whenever we talked about hockey training, I'm like, okay, let's see what these guys are all about. And you watch them do these fucking drills, and you're like, I can't do that. He is 20 times better than me. And if he's 20 times better than me, Andy, he's about 1,000,000 times better than you. And then they kind of humble you a little bit, and you're like, holy fuck, 10 and 2 in it.
Yeah, all right, I'll do that. I'll do that.
Yeah, I'll do it. I want to be like you. Fuck.
Well, they talk me into the speed kit, which I've done. So listen, get the speed kit and don't be a Leo, man. We should end it with that. Do not be a Leo, Cam.
No, don't make me talk about fucking.
Remind
this poor
people.
Guy. Okay, you know what, Leo? A fucking Leo coming. Hey, Leo's here. Leo doesn't back check. Leo doesn't stop on pucks. Leo high sticks guys because he's fucking stupid.
He wears the
stupid fucking. He takes the fucking. He doesn't even have sock tape on his shin pads. He has fucking laces from like 10 years ago with coronavirus on it, and he's taping coronavirus on his fucking shin pads. You suck, Leo. You're starting to piss me off, fucking Leo. Oh, here's one thing too, by the way. This poor guy is like, God, Cam. Hey, listen, man. I'm coaching these kids. I got 3 fucking Leos on my team right now. And I'm like, oh, Lord, these poor kids. So he's like, can you change it to Will or something? I'm like, no, because there's going to be Wills on the other team. Leo, it's Leo. I'm sorry. It popped in my head one time, and I got to stick with it. Fucking Leo.
I thought you meant he said he had 3 kids who suck, but it's actually 3
they're
Leos.
Good. They're 3. No. They're 3. No. They're 3 kids that are really good, and they're all
named Leo.
They're Leo.
Oh,
and they're
my God.
Why is Cam doing that? I'm like, oh.
But listen, if your name is Leo and you're not doing any of the stuff we're talking about, like
then we're not talking about you.
Pucks, if you are strong on the wall, if you are getting pucks out, if you are changing on time,
I'm
then
changing
you know what?
Andy.
We're not talking about you. But don't be a Leo. Hockeytraining.com.
I gotta keep Leo going. Leo, it just works.
Did you go buckets off or buckets on for warm up?
What the fuck do you think? Fucking no Bucky. I did my hair, stick the fucking hair back. I had my fucking gum. I'm cruising around fucking red line, patrolling it, spinning my fucking stick with no Bucky. Then I started losing my hair, and everybody starts chirping me when I bring a bunch of girls to the fucking stand. They're like, oh, Cam, we can see your bald spot. I'm like, fuck. But I still did it, Andy. I still did it.
Just think if you had keepithandsome.com back then.
Oh, bruh. Dude. Be smelling like, oh, my God. Some of your hands smell the rest of the night. Like, if I would have kind of offset my shit, the way my hands stunk because my blood would get in your glove, you just couldn't get the stink off your hands when you went to the bar afterwards, although the girls didn't care. But if I had that Keep It Handsome, oh, my God, it would have offset the smell of the nastiness of my hands to the loveliness and the handsomeness of the hair smell because of the shampoo and conditioner. It would have balanced things out, Andy. It would have balanced things out, baby.
No doubt. So keepithandsome.com. Check it out. Get that beard moisturizer. Get that body spray. Get that head balm. And then, of course, all the gels and the waxes and the creams, whatever you want, man, to make your hair look full, to make it smell good, make it look good, so you can go out there and be your best. That's the most important thing. Hook up one of the hoodies. You've seen us wear it. You can check out our Instagram account to see our Fight Ugly hoodies. That supports anti-bullying, which is what we truly believe in. We're not into the bullies. We don't like the bullies. And so we fight the ugly. So get one of your hoodies today. Do all of this. Mention the promo code Cam and Strick at keepithandsome.com. You're going to save 15%. You can also buy one of those sick-ass hoodies at amazon.com for our Canadian listeners if you can't hook it up on the website. Again, Fight Ugly. We're fighting the ugly. Proceeds go back to the Montreal Resource Center out of Montreal. Everything's better in Montreal. So check that out. We're fighting ugly with keepithandsome.com. All right, Cam. John Davidson, JD, the president of the New York Rangers, on this edition of the Cam and Strick podcast.
You don't live in the city. You live in the. I didn't know they had the country in New York City.
I don't live in Manhattan. I'm up. They don't. They play games down there, but they practice up here. So it's much easier. I'm about 15 minutes from the practice facility where the Knicks and the Rangers are.
Ooh, nice. Will you take a car service, or do you drive?
No, I drive here, but they do supply car service if you go into Manhattan, which is good because you can. Some of those trips can be long, so you can make calls and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, chill in the back, check the paper out, see what's going on. Oh yeah, I get it.
Got it.
So you're away from the hustle and bustle, right? You get to relax. I mean, what's the reaction you get from people on the street, though, JD? I mean, the Rangers right now, just in terms of the popularity, like where would you say it is today?
Yeah, I think. Well, it's a great sports city. It really is, with football, basketball, baseball, hockey. And when you're a fan of one sport here, people are really passionate, big time passionate. So I think most Ranger fans or hockey fans know where the Rangers are as far as the building the organization back up. So they know what's going on and they're excited. It's been good.
What's the connection with the Knicks and the Rangers now? Is there any connection? Like, is there any crossover in terms of executives and all that stuff, or is everything run separately?
No, it's separate. But the training center has a common eating place where you have breakfast or lunch or whatever, and we all talk with each other. The new president of the Knicks is a fellow named Leon Rose, who's a real good man, and so we talk and we talk about things. We go to some of their games, etc. It's good. It's a good relationship, all under the same roof, but it's kind of separate companies.
All right, so if I had to ask you now, I mean, listen, you're like a tenured exec now, JD. I mean, you've been in the game now so long, obviously from your entire life, but leaving as a broadcaster? Like when you're on top of the world, you're getting all the big time assignments, JD, Olympics, the whole 9 yards. Everyone knew who JD was. You didn't have to be in New York City. How difficult of a decision was it? And have you ever regretted making that decision?
No regrets at all. I think when I had been doing a lot of the TV 20 some years, it was great because you have to remember when I was a player, I retired at 29 years of age. I had so many injuries, I just couldn't take it anymore. So I was lucky to get into the TV world, and that grew into something pretty well. Saw the world, the Olympics. It was great. And then I had the opportunity with Dave Checketts and Mike McCarthy and those guys to go to St. Louis. And the only reason I went, and I've said this many times, because I played there and I knew the city. And I know how great a sports city it is. However, I didn't know exactly what I was getting myself into regarding trying to rebuild the franchise. That's hard. That was really hard. And I think with Larry Plow being as helpful as he was, we were able to do some good things. Some things weren't so good. Most of them were decent, but it was hard. It was really hard. Not only you're trying to put people in the building, but you're also trying to rebuild a franchise. And so you had to make tough decisions and find draft picks and then go through that process. I remember Detroit being there. It was the Brett Hull night, and we filled that building, but when the game started, we hardly touched the puck. Things like that were hard, but I wouldn't trade it in. It was really a learning experience. And then when I moved on to Columbus, I had a lot of experience under my belt and was able to build on it. But those years in St. Louis, for me, A, as a player for 2 years, B, as a management man, I wouldn't trade those in for anything. It was a great experience. It was very humbling at times, but I really enjoyed, and I still will never say a bad word about St. Louis. It's a great city. The alumni that live there, there's got to be 60, 65 of them. They're adored in that town, as Cam will know. I just think it's a great sports city, great place to live. I really do.
Well, unless you're of course outside of downtown, but other than that, you guys did though have to start from scratch. Really, I mean, the team was in disarray at that point. I remember coming over from the Devils and playing the first game over there, and I think there's like 7,000 people in the stands. So you really had to start from scratch. So what was your first thing that you had to initiate when you walked into that organization?
Well, it was, they had a reasonable amount of success making the playoffs all those years in a row, something like 25 years.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
So that was almost a given. But when we saw our situation, holy smokes. And the one thing I'll say, Cam, that's interesting is when we had 5, 6, 7,000 people, you look at it and you go, oh my God. But the reality is they were the best 6,000, 7,000 people you'll ever find because they were coming to the game.
All my cousins.
Half of them were Cam's family.
I mean,
just so you know, JD.
South County right there.
And the other half were the Maroons.
Yeah, exactly.
That was something else for those people. And also I think that as we moved along and had a little bit of success and went on a couple of runs under Andy Murray and things, and eventually Doug was brought in to replace Larry, and they worked together for a while, which is a little different, but I think it was good. I wouldn't trade that in. We made a lot of friends. My one daughter still lives there. They're married and has 3 boys. Yep. She's a doctor at the Children's, and we go back. We love the place. It was really good to me, and I was really, really happy when they won the cup. Just to see the success of people like Petrangelo and others, it was pretty good.
Wasn't your first day on the job like the first day of free agency? Like, I mean, your first day. Like they had the announcement on June 30th, right?
I was not there for the draft, but the free agency was just opening, and we were getting on the phone. And listen, let's face facts: we weren't going to be a very good hockey club, so to try to get free agents to come was a hard thing. And so we had to find a way to do things. The one I remember as we moved along was Paul Correa coming, and until Paul got injured, he was a pretty good player.
Mm-hmm.
And I was so happy that he agreed to come to St. Louis, and still talk to Paul now and again. He's gone into the Hall of Fame since. Just good memories of the Bruce Afflecks and the Bobby Plagers who I played with, and Fernie Fernerkos and all these guys. It was good, and at the same time learning how hard it is to win in this damn league, how hard it is to rebuild a franchise.
No shit.
And Doug said to me one time, it was funny. He said, somebody plants the trees, somebody else enjoys the shade.
Exactly.
and that's just the way it goes. But I have no complaints whatsoever of our time there for our whole family.
Yeah, and listen, we're going to move on. We got lots to get into with you, but was there ever listen, JD, you know every broadcaster, or at least a lot of them, probably think they could walk right in and do what you're doing, run an NHL team. It can't be that hard. So when you first get started, what was the first oh shit moment that you had, JD, where you were like, wow, you can't prepare yourself for something like this?
I wouldn't look at it that way, Andy. It was more that, oh, that's interesting. And now we got to do this. Oh, that's interesting. We got to try to do that. Oh, we can't sign this guy. He doesn't want to come here. Oh, we got to try to trade this guy, type of thing. I was talking earlier today about when we had to make the move and buy out Dallas Drake.
Oh yeah,
who was the captain of the team.
Captain, yeah.
That was hard. And one of the great things, and I'll never forget this, is he was bought out, and instead of calling him up or talking to Tom Laidlaw's agent, Larry Plow got on a plane and flew up to where Dallas was living in Michigan and told him face to face. That's how much respect Larry had for Dallas Drake. And, if you do things the right way, it's good. But it's hard. And Dallas went on to Detroit, won a Stanley Cup. God bless him. There was things like trying to trade Keith Tkachuk away and then getting a first rounder, then re-signing him. Same with Doug Waite. These two guys are great people, and they loved St. Louis, so they'd come back. So making these decisions along the way, trying to find ways to rebuild the franchise, it's arduous. It's hard decisions to make. That's just the nature of the beast. So as green as I was, I was able to build on the experience just about every single day, going in and talking to people and trying to talk companies into buying tickets and be part of the growth and come and see us grow, type of thing.
Oh yeah,
I remember that it was a battle, but it was a great experience.
Cam and Strick podcast is brought to you by CarShield. Nothing more frustrating, Cam, than when that engine light comes on and right off the bat you're going to have to spend thousands of dollars to repair your vehicle. Call 800-857-2481. Mention the promo code CAM or visit carshield.com and use the code CAM to save 10%. Yeah. That's carshield.com. A deductible may apply. Save yourself money. Sign up and get your coverage now with carshield.com. Now back to the interview.
So you're pretty new, of course, in St. Louis, but then you move on. So when you do establish yourself in an organization like that, and I know the player aspect is one thing, but for you though, and even when you went to New York just now, do you go in there and say, okay, I need to surround myself with the right people, and I kind of need to choose those people because that's who I trust and doing my business. How do you go about that? And do you get pushback when you need to be able to take care of business when it comes to that kind of stuff?
Well, what you do is you try to build a relationship with ownership. So when you make decisions, they trust your decisions. And in St. Louis, we did that. Of course, Tom Stillman took over the club, and I have respect for Tom because, people can say what they want about the ownership when I first got there with Dave Checketts and Mike McCarthy and that. I firmly believe to today that if it wasn't for those guys trying to make it work, I'm not sure the Blues would have stayed in St. Louis. And I mean that sincerely.
You've said that several times,
really?
JD. You really believe that?
Do you guys think that? Do you think that, Andy?
Well, they were in a tough state. Listen, there's no doubt.
They've been through a lot of hell before, too.
But there's no question when you took over, they were in bad shape.
They were in real bad shape. But.
Yeah, it was in dire straits. It really was. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, it was hard. It was hard for everybody, but at least they gave it a shot. And I fully respect that. And then, obviously, when Tom took over, he continued and has done a terrific job, obviously, and in a lot of different ways. But the thing was, we just had to do that. And I'm a believer that when you run a company, inclusion is important. So I like to have people that work with me. When I go in, I want to assess things and make a decision. Do I make changes or not? In Columbus, I had to make a change at the general manager's position, brought in Jarmo Kekalainen, who had been with the Blues. Mm-hmm. That was a hard decision because Scott Howson had been the general manager. He today is the commissioner of the American Hockey League and does a great job. He's new at it. He's a great guy and a smart guy, but it needed a change. So you have to do that, and then you have to work with people that have an understanding of. They know their seats on the bus. If their seats on the bus and they do a great job, they're going to get moved to a different seat. But you can't have people that you don't trust or they don't trust you. It doesn't work. And sometimes that happens, and you just got to deal with it. But I think that getting people in the right spots, and if everything works like a finely tuned engine, then you're in good shape trying to win. It's hard to win in this league, but you have to make hard decisions and believe in them.
Speaking of the bus thing, you're right on that. All I had to do to get back of the bus was like spend money and lose in poker to Keith Tkachuk, and then they'd have me back there. So that's how that went.
Hey,
I was a back of the bus guy too when I played.
I know.
Just to socialize, I would lose money just to hang out with the older guys.
But JD, hey, listen, two things. I mean, you already said one of them because you said, hey, you have to know your seat on the bus. I mean, that's always stuck with me. You've always said that. You said other things too, but you always said that every day presents different curveballs and that you had to kind of learn to adjust to that. And one of those was Erik Johnson's knee injury. I mean, JD, first overall pick. I mean, he was supposed to be the next Al McInnes here in St. Louis. So much riding on him on the ice, off the ice. Take us through that day. Like, how did you find out? Cam was there.
Don't, Andy. Don't just stop. Ask a
but how did you find out though, JD? And what was your reaction?
The first thing that had happened was Manny Legacy, who is now the goalie coach in Columbus and does a great job. He had called me and said, "Hey, listen, I'd like to get the guys together before camp, and we're thinking about going to out to the Ozarks, and we're going to play golf and have a good time." We all said, okay, but be careful. Have a nice time. That's a good idea. I believe in team concepts, as most people in the athletic world do.
Yep.
So that went on, and then we went up with our group of young players to Traverse City. And what you do in Traverse City in the morning is you play golf early, you finish up, and then you go to watch the games from about 2 o'clock through 10 o'clock at night, 8 hours at the rink. So we were coming off the golf course, and I got a call from the agent of Eric's, and he said, "I just want to tell you, JD, that Eric's had a little problem with his knee. I don't think it's anything serious, but I just wanted to give you a heads up. He's injured his knee." I said, "How the hell did that happen?" He said, "Well, I don't know. They were together, and then nobody really seemed to know. And next thing you know, we get back to St. Louis. It's an ACL. There was a lot of swelling. It took time before he had his surgery, and the whole thing, it was worse than I thought, and that was a real punch right in the gut. It just was. But as you said, Andy, that's a curveball, and some curveballs are bigger than others. That was a pretty big curveball. But in this business, when you're running a company, as anybody knows, when you're dealing with humans, you get curveballs, and it can be anything. We had one this past winter with our team where 2 of our players were involved in a car accident. It can be anything from a player's mother or father becoming gravely ill. It could be somebody getting the flu on the day of a game. There's a million things that it can be. Mm-hmm. But if you go through a day where you don't get a curveball, that's a good day in this business. Damn right. But the curveballs, it's your responsibility to deal with them the right way and get through them. That's just what you have to do. Yeah. And curveballs aren't fun, but they're part of the racket. They're part of the business.
I mean, you have Manny Legacy slip on like Sarah Palin's carpet, JD.
Jesus Christ.
That's a knuckleball right
Jesus
there.
Christ.
That's a knuckleball. Not even a curveball.
We gotta laugh at that, though. We're laughing at that one.
Oh my God.
I saw Sarah Palin doing a TV interview the other day, and it brought back memories.
Oh yeah.
Of her walking the center ice there. She was actually a nice lady. She had a son that played hockey and wanted to talk hockey and all that stuff. But That was something. Holy smokes.
Oh, God almighty.
How about all these guys, though, JD? Listen, I keep saying I'm going to move on. I will move on. But, I mean, from Oshie to Perron to Petrangelo, I mean, even EJ, too, man. All these young guys you brought in, Patrick Berglund had a nice run. All these guys had careers, like really, really good NHL careers, man. You got to feel happy about that.
I wasn't there. I just come after the EJ draft, the Eric Johnson draft. But, our guys, and it's not me. I mean, it's Jarmo Kekalainen and the scouts. They work their tails off. I will remember, and I do remember going to where Petro was playing junior in Canada. It was a small rink, and it was packed. A lot of scouts there. And I was leaning up against a rail with Jarmo watching the game. And Petro in that game made 2 no-look passes. In other words, he was looking to his left, and he passed it on the stick blade up the ice on the right side, no look. And he made 2 of them, and Jarmo took his program, tapped his other hand with it, and says, "That's what I came to see." And next thing you know, we were hoping he'd be available, and he was. We picked him. I can remember things like being at the draft when Tarasenko and Schwartz were drafted just about back-to-back. I remember being there and Danny Janelle saying to Doug, "You know what? We should try to get both." And Doug went to work and made the trade with Ottawa with Rundblad. Next thing you know, we had 2 picks, and those things work out. I can remember throughout the winter the time that my brother Marshall would call me and say, "You know what? There's this guy Parayko, I'm telling you," and he says, "I'm not going to see him in any of the big cities. I'm going to see him in the real small places so nobody knows we're onto him." And I would mention that to Doug throughout the winter. And next thing you know, luckily we got him where we got him, and he became the player that he is. These things, I remember Jake Allen coming to Traverse City with a suitcase that had holes in it, and just a young kid, and just these things. You have your misses too, but it's not me. It's a team. You don't have good management if you don't have a team, and it's Jarmo had the leadership, and the scouts worked their tails off, and some of them are still there in the St. Louis that are really good people who just love their jobs working for the Blues. It's fantastic, but it's a team effort to get through all this stuff, and to see. I'll be honest with you, I got a roster out when they won the Cup, and really happy for everybody, including the fans there that are so supportive. But I went through the roster, and I think of the 10 of the guys of the 20 dressed were there when we were there. And that made me feel real good. I was happy for those people.
Well, that's what you want.
Happy that they became who they became. Of course, Doug and his management went out and made a number of moves to keep climbing up the mountain so they could win a Cup, with some great moves. But that's just what it is. You want to get through this life without regrets. You want to get through it and say, "You know what? What a game! What a sport! What an experience!" And I'm 47 years into it now, so it's been really good.
Hey, let's talk about the new Bud Light Seltzer.
Oh, yeah.
It's an easy drinking hard seltzer that comes in 4 delicious fruit flavors. Black cherry, strawberry, lemon lime, and Cam's favorite, mango. With only 100 calories, 5% alcohol, and less than a gram of sugar, you might as well have a few tonight or this weekend. Go to BudLight.com to buy Bud Light Seltzer online. Must be 21 years of age or older. Bud Light Seltzer. Unquestionably good.
Yeah.
Now, back to the interview. I thought you were going to say you were 47 years old.
I didn't know where you were going. I thought you were 37,
what
JD.
What happened with JD?
47? I had hair then.
I know. All the ladies loved you,
Chest
too.
hair.
All the ladies loved JD.
They did.
Listen, I heard more from, the older ladies. Like, oh, JD was such a ladies' man back in the day.
Right.
So funny. They're sending you fan mail. But, I think you even gave, David Perron money. Remember he didn't have, a Social Security card or something like that.
We tried to help. Yeah, we tried to help.
Took him shopping.
David is just a wonderful guy. But he wasn't used to a big city in the U.S. and all this stuff. I remember Patrick Berglund the first day he walked in and had his hat on backwards, and Andy Murray made him straighten his hat out. It just
settle down, Andy. Settle down, Andy.
He's okay. He's a good kid.
Andy, remember the run he went on? 16, 17
oh my
games
God.
on a loss?
With Chris Mason
and Osh. Remember, that's when Osh emerged with everything.
Yeah.
Yep, that was awesome.
This stuff just great memories and you're dealing with when these young people come in. This is the lives that these guys have chosen. So you got to help them get to where they want to get to. It's part of your responsibility.
Yeah,
and it's just great stuff. The training staff, the doctors in St. Louis. I mean, Ray Borelli and the whole group, and the and the doctors that have been around. These are these are the things you remember.
JD, you had more surgeries here than the players. I think when you were, I mean, every time I turned around, you were having a surgery.
He's a big boy.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
yeah,
so.
I've had 4 knee replacements.
Oh,
4 knee replacements. My last was 5 fusions in my lower back. That was fun.
God!
But I had that one in Columbus, so I was lucky. So.
Wow!
But that's okay. It's worth it.
So listen, you hire Jarmo, and listen, I've always had a lot of respect for Jarmo. Love what he's done. At
on the pod,
on the amateur side too, and he's been on our podcast too. But okay, first European general manager. Like, when did you have it in your mind, JD, that this is a guy that you wanted to bring on board in Columbus?
Well, when I go back to when we made the change, or eventually made the change in St. Louis, Jarmo was unhappy. He thought that he could be the general manager. He got upset, but he also said, "Okay, how am I going to get there?" And he moved to Europe, moved back to Finland with his family from Michigan. He had been in Canton, Michigan, which is a great place to live when you're scouting the world through amateur hockey. Yeah. And he went over there and ran Jokerit, which is the #1 team in Finland, in Helsinki. And he not only ran the team, managed the team, but he also did all the business. He did everything from A to Z. And we had stayed in touch. I had gone over there one time and had dinner with him, and we talked about things. So when it became time to make the change in Columbus, I wasn't, I didn't go there with the intention of making a change, but I saw it was just time to make a change for all the right reasons. And Jarmo stuck in my mind. And then I started thinking about this league has become a draft and development league, which is just a huge, huge part of the business. And Jarmo has lived on both sides of the pond. He's ran hockey. He knows hockey in Europe as well as anybody. He has 8 million connections. He had been for years in the scouting business and ran scouting for organizations here in North America. And he's very smart, had played in the NHL a little bit with Boston, went to college over here, had a command of the language, the whole thing. So you get a yellow pad, a legal pad out, and you got your pros and cons. The pros were just check, 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 check. So then I said to myself, well, I was going to stir things up a little bit, but why not? And so we got a hold of Jarmo, and he jumped at it. And the rest is history. He's done a great job. I mean, a great job in Columbus. And sometimes you do things that are against the grain a little bit. We brought John Tortorella in to coach. Mm-hmm. 3/4 of the world of hockey thought we were nuts. Mm-hmm. Over the span of time that he's been the coach there, I don't know if there's anybody in the league that's done a better job than him. He's been that good. So, these are just decisions you got to make. You have to believe in your convictions. Through the experience I picked up in St. Louis and moved on, I've learned a lot. And I've enjoyed every minute of it. Made some bad decisions too, no questions about that. But you just stay at it and be honest with yourself and work with people.
What were the pros and cons when you hired John Tortorella?
Well, he had, he had a bad dismissal in Vancouver. It hadn't gone well publicly in New York at the end, but I knew how good he was, and he has the ability to change a culture. And with our club, we had a lot of young people. We had a lot of people that were futures, and we needed some leadership, and we didn't have a captain at the time. But he came in and changed the whole culture, and he did exactly what we thought he'd do. And then he's built up a relationship that is so strong with the city itself, with the media there. He's had some issues, obviously, as we all know, with media throughout the game. But
we love it. We love it.
But yeah, and then with the players in St. Louis, they love the guy. Not every one of them, but 99% of them. I'm telling you, they have great deal of respect for him. Mm-hmm. And he's gone from a coach that you thought would be maybe a short-term coach. He's not a short-term coach. He could coach as long as he wants, and he's really good at it. And he could turn a franchise around with his demanding attitude about how you play the game, how you prepare for the game, how you do a lot of different things in the game itself. And he's been really good for them.
We had a bunch of guys on that played for him, and they're like, "No, what? I loved them." And you know why?
They had their battles, though, right?
Of course
they respect them.
But the bottom line is, what they said is, if you bust your ass and do what you're supposed to do, he's fine.
And complete the 2-mile run in under 10 minutes.
Oh God,
too.
JD, 2 miles. That's hard.
Did he do that in Columbus or no?
He had a run. Yeah,
2-mile run.
And what the thing that's interesting about it is, especially if it's hot, then it's hard. But that to me is more of a, I better train.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know, instead of taking a day off on August 15th, I better train because Torts wants me to do this. So I think it works psychologically. I really do. I remember a story. I was talking about it earlier today in New York. John Ferguson was running the team, and we were out in Long Beach where we practiced, and they made us go on a run. So it was a hot day, and we're running down the streets of Long Beach to get back to the arena, and a cab drove by about probably 500 yards from the finish line. I look, and in the back seat of the cab was Dunk Wilson, who was one of the goalies. I'm going, Jesus. And I see him pull over, and he jumps out, and he runs into a guy's yard that had a sprinkler running. And he got all wet from the sprinkler and then ran the last 300 yards to make it look like he had ran the whole thing.
Dunk.
Veteran move.
You stole his job, JD. Move. He's a backup.
I can't see you as a runner, JD, but
the starter finished. The backup is the guy that's going through the sprinkler system. See?
That's how it works.
To make himself look wet.
Character. I was a runner actually at one time, but
really?
then the knees went, and that was that.
Yeah, it's bad on the knees. But I've talked to Jarmo about this. But did you ever have to sit down, Torts, and be like, okay, maybe you could have handled that a little bit differently?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah. I did some, but I'm not as good at it because my patience level isn't as good as Jarmo's. And Jarmo and Torts, I talk to Torts a lot. He has a place here in New York, probably 20, 25 minutes north of me, and we see each other, and. He is really, really in a position where he has a huge amount of respect for Jarmo. Mm-hmm. It's mutual with those two because they can talk things out. When things pop up, they talk, whether it's over a 9-holes game of golf or dinner or whatever. And it's really logical, it's intelligent, and it's worthy. And Jarmo's good at that. Jarmo really has patience to do it in the right way. And with Torts, if you do it the right way, he's all ears.
Time to talk about our boy Dan Bellman. Ooh. Bellman.com. That's with 2 N's, not one. BEHLMANN.com. Hey, check out the new inventory. Check out the pre-owned vehicles. You looking for a Chrysler, a Dodge, a Jeep, or Ram? How about a Cadillac or a Buick GMC? All in Troy, Missouri. Get your new wheels in time for the winter. Now back to the interview. Listen, I know firsthand. I know what it's like to be on your good side, and I know what it's like to be on your bad side. But I firmly believe that you care about people, and I've seen that. So, like, when you have a player that has, like, personal issues, JD, how does that influence how much you want to take care of that player? Like, does hockey always become first, or does the personal side come ahead? Because I think about a guy like Jack Johnson that you have taken care of, and I feel like there's a reason for that, considering what maybe he's gone through personally.
Well, I will say we just signed Jack for 1 year. It fit into the cap situation we're in. We had a terrible penalty-killing team last year. Jack killed in Pittsburgh, where they were 10th in the league. We also brought in a forward with the last name of Rooney. He was with Pittsburgh. They were 6th last year. But the biggest, I know Jack. Jack's a good person, so that helps. But the biggest the plus was Jacques Martin is now part of our coaching staff. Lindy Ruff was coaching the D here, the defense, and he's now the head coach in New Jersey. So we had a hole to fill, and Jacques Martin, they made changes in Pittsburgh. He was part of 2 cups there. So he wanted to work for us. We hired him, and then we called him on Jack, and he said Jack was very good for him last year, and he would endorse what we're trying to do with Jack. So it was a fit for us. We have a lot of kids. I don't know if there's some franchises in this league have a lot of depth with kids. I don't know if anybody has more than what we have, especially after getting lucky with the number 1 pick in Lafreniere. But we have a lot of defense coming down the road. But we have to get there, and we have to battle, and we have to, Jack works hard in the weight room, so the kids will see how that happens. So we'll get through it, but we think he's going to help us in a lot of different areas.
Yeah, we had the Rangers getting the first overall pick.
Oh, yeah.
The whole time.
I figured that one out.
Just so you know, JD.
I had a part in that, by the way, JD.
What about when people complain? Weird? What about when people complain about that? Like, what do you think, JD, when you hear that?
That's just noise. There's a lot of noise out there every day with the world of media, the world of Twitter, the world of everything, the world of competition with people in the media. Noise is noise. If it's bad enough, you got to listen to it because you have to address it. But it's just noise, and it's going to be there. That's part of it. You live with it. The Toronto ping pong ball looked like it was halfway up the tube. and for some reason didn't go all the way. And then ours went up. It was weird. But,
hey, it's just hey, it is what it is. That's the luck of the draw. Yeah. It was interesting, and I thought that people were compelled the whole way, and that's a big.
It made it.
You needed that.
It made it interesting to watch. There's no question.
Okay, the kid though, JD. Are we comparing him? You know, you've seen a lot of talent come through juniors and things like that. How do you compare this kid to the big boys? You know, everybody's the best.
I don't want to put that on him because I don't think it's right. But I will say this: this kid is mature for his age. Is 18. He carries himself like he's been around the pro ranks for 5 or 6 years.
Oh yeah.
He's close to 200 pounds already. He's a guy that likes to carry the puck through the neutral zone like a Panarin does, where you drive the play and you're not a centerman, you're a winger. It's interesting to see that, and I think that his play in the World Junior and on the international stage, which when you're on the Canadian junior team and you're the captain and you're expected to do things, he delivered. He was the MVP of the tournament. They won the gold. So I think he gets all that. You know, here's how big it was in Quebec. The Canadian Parliament was in session. They stopped Parliament, and one of the members of Parliament from Quebec, from the province, stopped Parliament to announce that Alexis Lafreniere from the province of Quebec was picked number 1 overall. That's how important it is to those people up there. Yeah. So we're lucky. We're really lucky. I will say this though. I'm proud of this. Maybe I'm not right. Maybe I should have done it differently. Maybe it wasn't the smartest thing. But in St. Louis, in Columbus, and in New York, I've never tanked. Never been part of a tank job. And this time, with us not tanking, being a competitive team, even though we're young, and we have a lot of future, we got lucky and got the number 1 pick, and I feel good about that.
Yeah, well, you shouldn't tank. I mean, teams. I'll never understand why teams would do that. But when you're in Columbus, and I believe you, JD, because you've said over and over, like New York may be the only job that you would have left there for. Like I firmly believe that you enjoyed living there, your family liked it, and all that type of stuff in Columbus. But when you go to New York, and all of a sudden their prized free agent, Panarin. I know the goaltender obviously was in the mix too, who ended up in Florida. But when you sign him in New York, is that awkward at all, or can you just look at it? It's pure business. Now you're running the New York Rangers. You're not in Columbus anymore.
No, well, the Columbus thing, that whole thing came up fast. You know, when I left St. Louis, it was something that happened that was important. Doug was in charge, and carrying contracts, including my own, is not, it's not cheap. And I have a good relationship with Tom Stillman and his wife, and I really enjoyed St. Louis, I can tell you that. But things happened, so I never expected to go to Columbus of all places. Next thing you knew, I was in Columbus, and thrilled that I did, and I had some experience. I think it helped our franchise there. Then when I left, it was 2 things. One, Yarmo was in a position where you know what, he'd gone through a lot, learned a lot. He's ready to do things. He doesn't need me looking over top of him. He's good to go. And so with that happening, along with the fact that Glenn Sather was retiring here, we had a great relationship in Columbus, talked to the right people, the people in charge, the ownership, and it was just a great time. We all shook hands, and they were happy I was there. We were happy we were there. I'll never ever say a bad word about them either. It was fantastic. And then coming back here was like a homecoming in some ways. Mm-hmm. I'd been here and cut my teeth on most things here, and had some New York blood in me still. Even though I can honestly say I'm being as honest as I possibly can. The 2 cities I went to are great cities. I know St. Louis has its bad areas. My daughter in the Children's Hospital sees a lot of that, and a lot of it. And I wish people would pay attention and care about that a little more, because there's some good kids that are getting shot up, to tell you the truth. And the city should pay more attention to it.
You're right.
They should pay more attention to it. It's a serious issue.
We have to deal with it every day. Yeah, we see it every day here in St. Louis, and it just does not get better by any means.
Yeah, and she lives it. It's getting worse, actually. And she lives it, and she's in there trying to save lives. And then you have to tell parents that their child has died because of guns and things like that. It's stupid. Then St. Louis deserves better, because it's a great city. It really is, in a lot of ways. And then going into Columbus, I mean, that's as good as anywhere that I've ever lived. And then coming back here to New York, it's a full circle. I'm really a lucky guy. Been in the game 47, 48 years, and just loved every minute of it.
Well, going back to Lafreniere, if I believe I said that right, Andy, I butcher so much.
He tries to have
JD.
like this French Canadian accent, JD, and he butchers it every single time.
But the reason why I brought him up earlier was, you try to evaluate these kids, and they always dominate. Everybody dominates in juniors, when you're that good. But you drafting Capo Caco, and then he comes in and he's a big kid. He's got length. He could skate, and he struggled a bit. Like, what's the difference between those two, and what does he need to do better?
Well, the one thing I'll say about Lafreniere is that being up in Quebec, he's controlled that league 2 straight years, and as a 17 and 18-year-old, not too often you see that anywhere, and so that really tells you how good this kid could be. With Capo, he came over here. It's a new country. It's a new ice size. It's a lot of things, and he had real good moments. He had other moments where he suffered some. What was really interesting is that when he went home, pardon me, and then came back for the bubble, for the play-in, he was a different guy. I mean, it's like he had put on 2 or 3 years of maturity, and he played really well. And now he's gone home, and our coach, David Quinn, is in touch with all our players all the time. He comes into my office, and we talk about it, and he says, you wouldn't believe, he's just a different person. He's trusting, he's mature, he's working out. We tend to think about these guys that they're going to come in and just be stars. There's not many that do that anymore. I mean, you look at Hughes, the number 1 overall pick in Jersey. Same thing. But we got to understand how young these guys are and how good the league is. And so we're going to see them improve and mature and become terrific players. But we got to be intelligent with our patience level to make sure it happens instead of creating problems where we're wishing for too much too early, and it stunts the growth of the player.
Yeah, they lose confidence, and confidence is such a big thing. But even
absolutely.
he's got to grow into his body a little bit. You're playing against everybody's strong in the NHL.
Oh yeah,
like everybody's. But so you see Capo Caco, and you're like, okay, what do you do then? Okay, so finally he comes back and he's all of a sudden put muscle on. Like, do you have a trainer for him? Is he on a strict schedule, weighed in every day? Like, what do you do with a kid like that?
Well, they all go home with their programs, and then we have our strength and conditioning guys and the head coach and all that. They call and check in all the time. There's Zoom things you can do. The other thing is development coaches, and we have over in Europe we have Tuomo Ruutu, who played in the league, who is outstanding, and he's hands-on all the time, seeing all these guys. That's a big part of their job is the off season. And then we have 2 others over here, in Jed Ortmeyer and Tanner Glass. They're great at what they do. They're really good at what they do. They get to know the players. We just had the draft. They had called every player we drafted either that night or the next morning, and they've already started the relationship. And I remember a story last year. Tanner Glass was in Edmonton, and we have a kid up there by the name of Robinson that played junior there, who's a defenseman, pretty good player. And Tanner Glass went up and was watching him play, and they had a practice the next day. And sure enough, he went and talked to the coach, and he put a gear on, and he was practicing with him. Wow! And getting to know the kid on the ice.
But don't you look for that though?
That you like.
Yeah, don't you find guys that either you represented in some way, shape, or form, and you're like, this guy's a good kid. He might not have been the best hockey player or a superstar, but he could relate to the guys. When look, if I'm a young kid, JD, and I walk in and I got Tanner Glass and a couple of boys that played, and they come and they're nice to me and they take you out, and I'm like, that goes so far. It's
that's
unbelievable.
Exactly right.
So that's good. That's good.
Yeah, absolutely. You have to understand what makes the kid tick, and you can't do that by a telephone conversation. No. You've got to get to know them. You have to see how they act in a restaurant, what they eat, what they do. It's on and on and on like that. And the development people, once you draft these kids, they're so important for your organization. It's just gigantic.
Andy Strickland and Cam Jansen here for you for GadgetBuyback.com. Gadget Lab, they got a store here locally if you're in St. Louis, 5541 Telegraph Road. Here's the deal. You got an old phone, maybe a cracked tablet. Maybe it's perfect, but it's a little bit older. Turn it in right now. www.gadgetbuyback.com. Upgrade your devices, phones, computers, watches.
Anything.
Doesn't have to be Apple either.
No.
Get those tablets turned in. Again, www.gadgetbuyback.com, 877-772-8880. Now back to the interview.
Yeah, some of these kids, though, they're coming from eating McDonald's every day. Like, honestly, like not even knowing. So when they hang out with some of these veterans, like even just going to the grocery store and seeing what he picks up and how he does different things throughout the city and talks to people.
True.
I mean,
true,
it's so, some of these guys are just so aloof to so many different things. It's crazy. Anyway.
Yeah, you see a number of teams now. I know we do, and our farm team is in Hartford, and we make sure the kids are fed at the rink because we'd rather have hands-on knowing what they're eating as opposed to them going to I wouldn't say McDonald's, but wherever. That's just, it's important to make sure they eat right. Yeah. You got to eat right.
Exactly.
So JD, like, have you changed over the years? Like, listen, I will admit, I was a pain in the ass with JD.
Yeah, I agree.
No, you still are.
No, I was. I was a pain in the ass with JD, and didn't even realize it at times. You just think you're doing your job, you're trying to whatever, do your thing, but you were pretty emotional at times as well. Do you feel like you're still that emotional, or over time you've calmed down a little bit?
No, I've calmed down. I used to get emotional with a lot of different things, including referees and all. You want things so bad, and you just don't. You don't. Sometimes the noise can be damaging, and you're trying to do the right thing, and it can become contentious. But no, I like to work things out with people. Life's too short. I have a great deal of respect for people and what they do, whether it's a person that works at the arena, or a person that's a reporter, or somebody that does. Everybody's working, and the thing I try to tell people is, and this sounds simplistic, but I think it's true. The game of hockey. I mean, you two are doing this. It's under the umbrella of hockey.
Oh yeah.
And what I'm doing is I'm talking to you. It's under the umbrella of hockey. A lot of us have different jobs to do, and I understand that people have to do their parts to make sure that it's all honest, but it's all under the umbrella of hockey. And I don't understand people that damage the sport, yet they're being they're part of the world of hockey and making a living. I just don't understand that. Now, I do understand keeping people honest. I get that stuff, because there's sometimes people aren't as honest as they should be. But I don't understand people that do damage. I just don't get it.
Like, what do you mean by that?
I don't understand.
Like,
people that just run at people all the time, and negative. Gary Bettman has taken a beating over years. I don't know of anybody that could have done a better job than Gary Bettman.
People in St. Louis love him, JD.
Yeah,
why wouldn't they?
Yeah.
Hey, they would have cheered him when he handed out the Stanley Cup.
Yeah, they would have.
If that Game 7 was in St. Louis.
I know they would have.
Yeah, but what he's done and how he navigated this league through the pandemic to this point,
well,
and on and on and on. You think the world of the business of NHL hockey, where it was 20 years ago to where it is now. And we're not the NFL. I get that. We've got a lot of growing to do. I get that. But this has been a good ride. I know people have jobs to do. I get that. You can get emotional, but I think it's better not to. But and have people around you that can help you make good decisions.
Yeah. Well, sometimes you mature, you learn, whatever. I mean, it just over time that can happen, and people can change. That's the reality of it. But we've said this about Gary Bettman. I think what he did over the course of the pandemic and pulling this off in the bubble will go down as maybe the biggest part of his legacy in terms of what he did as a commissioner. But JD, you talk about the negativity. You know who gets a lot of negativity, and everyone loves to throw darts when you guys make your Hall of Fame selections. Like,
oh, sure. I get that.
Yeah, Like, I mean, I hear it every year. I hear it every year. When guys are selected from other players, how does this guy get in? How does that guy get in? Like, how do you handle that?
Oh, that doesn't bother me at all. I think that's part of that business. I've been the chairman of this committee for, I've been in the committee and part of the chair for 23 years or something. I don't even know. But I get that there's always people who think that and think this. It makes for good debates. But I will say there's 20 people on the committee, from people in the media to ex-players to general managers. There's a pretty good cross-section. Cassie Campbell is a female that's on the committee. And these things get debated. And there is bylaws. You can't put everybody in all at once. There's bylaws. And you you really try to do the best you can. I will say this, is we all do it as giving something back to the game. Nobody gets a paycheck. Nobody gets anything. So it's all out of just trying to be a part of the game, trying to make the game better. As far as people disagreeing, that's the nature of the beast. I don't have a problem with that at all. None, zero. And you try to do it right. You try to make good decisions, but you can't keep everybody happy. It's impossible. As you move along, you hope you catch up sometimes if you feel you've missed. I've been on the phone with people like David Poyle, people like Brian Burke, others, just talking about what we've done, what we haven't done, trying to set up for next year already. So it's the nature of the beast. I have no problem with people complaining at all, as long as they don't make it personal.
Yeah. And, some people do. Just a few more, JD, we'll let you go. But do you feel like there should be more transparency in terms of how the process works? Because I've heard some people complain about that.
Yeah, no, I don't. And I don't care if people complain about it or not. I don't, because I know that if you're a person that doesn't get in, that becomes damaging sometimes. You're getting calls and people are talking to you. You got to think about the person himself. I do know they've done studies, and I've seen the studies on different halls of fame, whether it's baseball, basketball, football, hockey, and these reports come out that the NHL, or not the NHL, it's the Hockey Hall of Fame, which encompasses the world. It's thought of as the number one hall and number one at getting people into the hall and doing it the right way. So I'm comfortable with that when I read those. The actual the hall itself does the study all the time, and it comes out that way all the time. So I'm pretty satisfied. It could always be better. There's no question. We always listen, no question. But it's not an easy job either.
All right, this is my last one for you, big boy, and it's a personal one, and I want you to answer it, the right way here. I know you were drafted 5th overall, of course. You're 18 years old, and you were young when you played goal. You had long chest hair. You're 6'3". Why did you play goalie? You could have played forward, and you could have been a killer. You could have been a big defenseman like Chris Pronger. I just look at you, and I'm like, you walk into a room, and you intimidate everybody. If you were on the right wing cruising down the boards, holy macaroni. Why'd you pick goal? Why'd you pick goal?
After some nights, I thought about that a lot myself. Actually, it's one of those crazy stories where you're a kid and you're playing hockey. I was a left winger. I had a blast. The goalie got hurt, so they stuck me in there, and I go, holy crap, I kind of enjoy this. It's pretty good. Things are going well. And when you do something where it starts to go well, you just stay with it. And then you get lucky with opportunity as you move along, junior in Calgary, and it was a fit where I fit in there. They needed somebody, and it just worked. There was no anything to it. It just happened.
Did you play forward though? Ever? Did you play?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Okay. I was a left winger till I was about 15 years of age.
Really? Till 15?
How big were you?
Someplace in there. Tall and much thinner.
I hear that.
Yeah, it was good. It was good. I was a lucky guy.
Hey,
very, very, very lucky.
Listen, wow. I hope I can tell this because it was early in your tenure here because it was an Olympic year, and I know there was maybe some thought in your head that maybe you could still broadcast the Olympics even though you were a president of the team. Have you ever thought about doing that, JD? Getting back behind the mic?
I was called and asked to do it, and I said no. It just didn't. You can't work for an organization and talk about other teams' players.
Yeah, right.
It's just not right. I would love to have. If there's, I had thrills of Stanley Cup finals and a lot of different things. There's something very special about the Olympics. The best was the Olympics when you're covering them for an American network, when you're in a smaller place over in Europe somewhere, whether it's Lillehammer or it was in Maribel in France. These are small areas, and it's kind of like you guys against the world. And it was an amazing time, just an amazing, amazing time. I did 5 of the Olympics and worked primarily with Mike Emmerich, and I'm just lucky. Really lucky.
I was going to ask you about Doc. I mean, you worked with him, Sam Rosen, man. You had some great partners.
Yeah, Dan Kelly. St.
Dan
Louis.
Kelly,
I worked with him quite a bit, too.
Big boy,
I talked to Mike the other day when he announced his retirement, and he basically traveled out, which I get. When you travel as much as he does, especially this day and age where traveling isn't easy, you get burned out. And he's been a treasure for the NHL and minor leagues and everywhere. Lucky to work with people like Dan Kelly and Mike Emmerich and Sam Rosen. again, I keep saying this, I've been a lucky guy, and it's true. I've been very lucky for going on 50 years.
Make your own luck, JD. You know, and
hey,
all the hockey guys.
It started actually in St. Louis, you know, and I had people there like Barclay Plager, Bobby Plager, Gary Younger.
We take Bobby everywhere,
listen,
JD.
They
take him everywhere.
They all keep telling me to, hey, ask him about the horse in his house, you know, which you've already told me that story, but a lot of we got a lot of Canadian listeners and stuff like that. They probably haven't heard that story.
Oh, that's very true. It was New Year's Eve, and I had bought a place from Glenn Sather. It was 5.5 acres out in Chesterfield. It had Tennessee Walker horses. I didn't know a lot about horses, but I got them anyway with the sale. And so it was New Year's Eve, and I hear a noise, and I go looking out. And we had the party at our house, and it was still light out. And it was my first year of marriage. And Floyd White Pine Thompson had gotten on the horse, and Bobby Plager took his belt off and put it over the horses around the neck. And I look, and they're bringing the horse up the driveway, and now they're up the steps across the decking to go in the house.
Shitting everywhere.
Floyd Thompson, who was playing for us, he hit his head above the door and fell off. And Bobby kept bringing the horse into the house. And the horse was a great horse. It was quite a settled horse.
Oh, yeah. Horse. Oh, my God, it's settled.
Were you married?
That thing was tranquilized.
Were you married back then, JD?
First year of marriage.
Oh, you had 5 acres in Chesterfield?
He brings the horse in the house, and he's going from one room to the other. And there were beautiful hardwood floors, and the carpet was not wall to wall. And the horse would go through and turn left, and the hoof would scrape the wood. And the beautiful hardwood floors were no longer
dollar signs out the window.
I got news for you. That 5.5 acres is now like a medical building.
That's $14 million now, by the way.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I know.
Seriously, man, JD, you're the best.
That's a true story.
Yep.
You're the best, and you're always great to me. And of course, tell the family we both said hey.
That's right.
Yeah,
and,
I appreciate it, Cam. Cam, I got to tell you, you came to St. Louis, and there was the Bryce Salvador deal. And you played your ass off for that team, and you played hard. The fans loved you, and that's good stuff. Appreciate it.
Well, it's working out afterwards, so I appreciate you getting me over there.
Good.
JD, thanks a lot, man.
Okay, guys,
take
care of yourselves.
Right on.
Bye-bye.
See you.
That was JD, John Davidson. I hope everyone truly appreciate this guy's history, Cam. Like how long this guy's been at it, how long he's been in the game. Everything he's seen, everything he's done, and the fact that he loves the game enough, man, to continue to do it now. Like you said, man, he's made plenty of money at his age, but something's got to keep you motivated. But it's kind of a nice homecoming, though. Like this guy made his mark, made his name with the New York Rangers, right? And then working on TV all those years, and then now he's back in New York. So it's kind of a feel-good story, too.
And you know what? All that's great. He was great to both of us. In a personal way, and that to me goes farther than any fucking thing else. He was good to me and my family. He brought me to help bring me to St. Louis, and I'll just never forget it, man. You treat me good, man. You're a lifelonger with me, and that's exactly what he did. And to you too, Andy, and your family. Yeah. He was great to us, dude.
He did, man. I mean, my kids were born they're sending baby gifts, wedding gifts,
yeah, dude. He just knows how to do it, man.
Truly good people. But you know what, like you learn, Cam, over the years, you mature, as you move forward in whatever profession you're in. And this one is no different. Like when JD was running the Blues, I was at a different stage of my career too. And I was hungry as shit. I wanted to break everything. I wanted to report on everything. I never took a minute off. And some people looked at that and been like, wow, this guy's hungry. He works his ass off. He works hard. At times they get pissed off at the same time about things that you really don't need to get pissed off about, little minor details, you're reporting a guy going down to the minors and stuff like that. Not a big deal. Nobody cares. But so there were times when he and I would go at it, man. I would drive him absolutely crazy. And so some of that I do regret, but at the same time, I was young, man. I was eager. I was just trying so hard to just, find a path and find a way to make it in this business, where, as you know, Cam, it's very, very difficult. It's hard. And you got to find a way to stand out, And so, but he was patient with me, and I'll forever be indebted for that reason, too.
Yeah, because not everybody's fucking patient, Andy, especially with you, especially what you were doing. And, I don't know. But he understood it, and he got pissed a couple times, but you knew where you stood with him. And, again, when a push comes to shove, he's fucking good to us, dude. And that's just it. And
you
I
know
don't give a
what's
shit.
so weird, though? Like, because he was like, listen, I even asked him, like, hey, are you still as emotional as you used to be? Because he was pretty damn emotional, Cam. I mean, he would get so worked up all the time.
I know.
We've talked about it with the refs, you know, calling the league, bitching, complaining, whatever. Like, he's calmed down with a lot of that. But the organization, like, I would talk to one person in the organization, and they would tell me something, and, you know, you write it. You just assume this is, like, the shared belief or the shared thought within hockey operations. And everyone kind of even then had varying opinions. So, like, somebody would tell me something, and I would put it on Twitter, or I would call JD and tell him something, and then he'd get mad at me, and I'm like, you know, you just wish you could say, well, listen, man, I got that from somebody who's working in the office with you, you know, like, don't get so angry about it. I just assume this is the way you guys were looking at this particular instance, you know? So I don't know, man, it was an interesting time, but you know, he helped set the table. I will say that for a lot of the success the Blues have had over the course of the last, you know,
look at the draft
years,
picks.
really since Ken Hitchcock has been here, you know?
Look at the draft picks, and he was a part of a lot of things. And I'm glad you asked him about the EJ situation, Eric Johnson situation. Yeah, I'm glad you didn't say too much about that incident, because that was tough on him, man. And you know what? We talk about that. We really haven't got into it. And I'm not ready for that yet to really talk about it, but I will eventually, Andy. We're gonna have to wait for the right time, because it's not just about us and what happened. It's all the big boys involved too with the St. Louis Blues, and it's just, I don't know if we're ready to really break that one down yet. Yeah, but anyway, I don't know.
Yeah, well, I'm glad JD's came on.
Awesome.
With us, man. Honestly,
that's the bottom line.
Awesome, dude. And I've got so much respect for that guy, man. So honestly, it meant a lot for him to give us some time to come on and shoot the shit with us for a few minutes here on the Cam and Strick podcast. As always, brought to you by CarShield and CarShield.com. Cam, what should people know about CarShield? Break it down real quick.
Stupid ass starter went out, and all these people are like waving bye to me after a lovely meal with my wife, and I'm like, bye everyone. Nothing. And all of a sudden, I'm like, what the fuck do I do? CarShield called them. I took it a mile away. They fixed it in like an hour, and I had my vehicle back that night. They are the best. To a monthly payment, very cheap, and they take care of everything. It simplifies your life, and that's what you want.
No doubt. All right, simplify your life. CarShield.com. Mention the promo code CAM. You'll save 10%. Again, mention the promo code CAM. You're going to save 10%. CarShield.com. How about Bud Light Seltzer, baby? Strawberry, black cherry, lemon, lime, and mango. Mango. We want to see where you're at.
Mango.
Send us your chill zone.
Mango.
Order your Bud Light today online. Do it. Very easy. Yes. BudLight.com. They'll deliver it straight to your house. Less than a gram of sugar, 100 calories, and again, 5% alcohol, so it leaves you feeling good, but not bloated. Not bloated, but leaves you feeling good. Lots of flavors. Get that variety pack. Again, Bud Light Seltzer, baby. Show us where you're at, where you're chilling with that mango. Do it today. Hit us up on Instagram or on Twitter. Show us that chill zone. BudLight.com. Bud Light Seltzer, unquestionably good. How about HockeyTraining.com, man? You want to improve your game? Get that speed kit. Get quicker. Get more explosive. You want to work on your stick handling, your speed, your vision, your endurance. Do the workouts. Be in shape. Don't be a Leo. Don't bring the team down. Make sure you're doing the work away from the rink. HockeyTraining.com. Dan and Kevin got a bunch of new videos out there right now. Become a VIP member. And again, check out the videos, man. Don't belong to a gym. Don't waste your money. Bring the gym to you. If you're a team, do the workouts together. If you're a men's leaguer, it's never too late to get your game in order and to improve as a hockey player. Check out HockeyTraining.com today. How about Bellman.com? BehlMann.com. Best customer service you're going to find anywhere in North America. That is a strict Cam and Strick guarantee. Best customer service you'll find anywhere in America is with Dan Bellman and Bellman Automotive in Troy, Missouri. One side of the street, you got the Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. On the other side, you got the Cadillac, the Buick, the GMC. Cam's looking at that Buick Enclave with captain seats, maybe even a pink Jeep with 2 doors, small wheels, soft top. You never know. Yeah. Check it out. Look at the pre-owned inventory. Check out the new inventory. Lots of selection for you there with Bellman.com. Keep it handsome, baby. Keep it handsome. Now, you want to smell good, you want to look good, you want to feel good. You want to have a little bit of swag. Well, you got to make sure you're taking care of yourself, and you can do that with Keep It Handsome. KeepItHandsome.com. Check out all their products, man. The body spray, the beard moisturizer. You got the big, thick beard, man. Put this stuff in there. It makes it feel good. How about the head balm? And all the different hair products, the shampoos, the conditioners, the waxes, the gels, everything you need to make sure you feel good and you smell good, most importantly. All right? KeepItHandsome.com. And hook up one of those hoodies you see us wear. Check out our Instagram if you want to check it out and see what it looks like. It says Fight Ugly. It's a sick hoodie. It says Keep It Handsome on the hood. People are reaching out to us left and right, wanting to know how they can order some of these. KeepItHandsome.com. Mention the promo code Cam and Strick. You're going to save 15%. It's that simple. You can also hook it up at Amazon.com. So buy one of these Fight Ugly hoodies and fight anti-bullying, where a portion of the proceeds go back to the Montreal Resource Center. Keep it handsome. KeepItHandsome.com. So be sure to check that out. Of course, Victor Hockey at Victor Hockey USA on Instagram and Twitter. Check out their hats and t-shirts. VictorHockey.com for the entire selection. We're going to have some merchandise coming your way too, so stay tuned for that. Cam and Strick merchandise. The people have asked for it. We will deliver it. We'll have it for you very, very soon in time for the holidays. And of course, our girl Renee Howitt with COPE24. We love supporting that charity. COPE24.com. All right, this has been episode number 86 with the Hall of Famer John Davidson. We appreciate JD for taking some time with us. Cam, have fun at the golf tournament today.
Fuck you.
In the cold and rain. Enjoy.
All right, buddy. I'll see you, buddy.
All right, man.